Good morning, long border. Who is that?
That is a private client. That's his tricky name.
Oh, okay. Morning, Andre. And I don't know how to pronounce S-H-A-N-K-C, or rather S-H-A-N-C.
That's the other private client for this month, Shankar.
Shankar. Okay. Terrific.
He's David. We call him David Longboarder, so you can go by Dave, but
Gotcha.
So it's my other brother Daryl and my other brother Daryl.
Man, I don't know. You told me last week that you had some cool weather a couple of days, and we were at 100 degrees with 99% humidity for 3 days in a row.
Oof.
And then yesterday it went to 55.
Wow.
I mean, my allergies and my sinuses were absolutely dying. I mean, it was just a dramatic change.
Yeah, we had, it was definitely a heat index going on every day. And Friday, the night we drove up to camp, a tornado went through Wisconsin that we missed by about a half an hour.
Wow.
And so I was playing an obstacle course hauling the camper with downed trees all over the place. It was pretty crazy.
Wow. Yeah.
And then, yesterday we finally dropped out too. Yesterday was the first day I was able to turn my air conditioner off for a little while. But we're coming back into the 80s the rest of the week, but I'll take 80s. 70s and 80s are perfect.
Right.
And
I like that. I wish I could have that all year round.
You can't have to move to San Diego.
Yeah, exactly. There's only like one or two places in the country that has like perfect weather, like 70, 75, maybe up to 80 a little bit with low humidity. And San Diego is one of them. Santa Barbara, California is the other.
I haven't been to Santa Barbara before. I love San Diego, though. It's pretty nice out there.
Yeah, I've been through I drove through San Diego. Didn't stay there, but I know a couple of people that have visited there, and they absolutely love it.
Oh, see, he says it was 83 there yesterday. He lives in San Diego right there.
Oh, nice.
So if we're ever feeling down, we'll just ask Dave for the weather report because it's always going to be 83 there.
Yes. Yeah. People I know that have visited said they love San Diego.
He just has to wake up really early at 6 in the morning to trade. That's the only downside.
Yeah, it's probably the reason why I wouldn't move there. I hate getting up early.
That's why we have to get this automation running. But this is what as close as it gets. And that was weather with Dave and Dan in the morning.
Yep. Now we can move on to the less important things. I see you have the new scripts up.
I do. There was one update I saw from the team.
Yes.
And David was actually asking me about it. I think it's to the oscillator. I have not loaded the newest one. Did you?
No, it was the SR study, the upper one.
Okay.
Yeah, there was one line in there that was not commented out. It was there for beta testing.
Gotcha.
That's all. I mean, it wouldn't have made any difference in the signals. It was just a one line that needed to be commented out.
Okay, so on that note, David, we'll check on your setup sometime and see if you're painting them wrong, because apparently he was only seeing 2 lines on the swing oscillator.
Yeah, no, those are good. One thing I do though with the swing oscillator is that the default is solid lines at the -10 and +10 levels. I change those to dotted lines because when it hits the 10, +10 or -10, you can't see the line.
Oh, gotcha.
So yeah, if you go up to edit studies there, and then click on, no, not that, go to the
regular
gears. Yeah, go to the gear. And then the high and low, instead of style, and then style change to those dotted lines down below there. Well, I use a second one. Yeah, that's good enough. Same. That way you can see the line when it's, now that line is a real time. It's not in moving average. It's not a, there's no, so it's in real time. So it's showing you, see, that's the fix right there. when you change it, then you get the zero line, and you have to kind of adjust the.
Gotcha. Oh, good. So that's going to go away. So I don't have to do this.
That's going to go away. Yeah.
Okay, I'm loading that immediately.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
That drives me nuts.
I know.
All right.
So now you can see that line on the oscillator. You can see exactly where it is.
Carried at 10. And this was a good, nice little negative volume of the cloud.
Yep.
Nice little short opportunity. Boom.
Came right down to SR2. SR2 is a solid line, and boy, it came right to it and held nice and steady there. We've been using that 50% level. So we did a little tweaking of the script, and we decided to do it dynamically. It's kind of a dynamic support and resistance area. And it seems to really work. It's incredible, really. I mean, look at yesterday where it came right up to SR2, and you and I chatted about that yesterday. I said, looks like it wants to come up to SR2.
Yeah, we're sitting around in here. It's like, yeah, we're going to start trucking up. And it finally, boom, boom.
Yep. Hit that SR2 and just sold right off. So, yeah, it's interesting. So, the couple other tips, I guess, if anybody has any questions, but basically what you want to do is you want to look at the crossover on the swing oscillator. Like this morning, we had a nice crossover. And then you kind of want to see where the SR1 and SR2 are printed. So as soon as those are printed, you can kind of tell what kind of day it's going to be, if it's going to be an up day or a down day. And where those support and resistance areas are, the price will generally, especially if it opens really, really far away from the Renko cloud and the SR2, is going to come back down to those levels. And so even though we have a crossover on the oscillator, that shows a lot of momentum and strength to the upside, and we're probably going to have an update today if it stays there. But they come back down to that SR2 level, and especially the Renko cloud. The Renko cloud has kind of really surprised us. We love it because if it's too far above the Renko cloud, it's a great selling opportunity. If it's too far below, it's a great buying opportunity. And the Renko cloud, we have determined basically a fair value area. And so when you're too high, when too far above or too far below, it can be a good buying opportunity. But you have to look at all the other oscillators in conjunction. Now, when you have SR2, point to SR2 there, it's above SR1. That indicates a negative bias. So it's a negative day.
It's much closer than yesterday, but it's still above it.
Yeah, exactly. So, and it looks like this early rally is fading here. Ooh, excuse me.
So one thing, too, I wanted to run by you, since originally I was just looking at these guys, right, when I had a bunch just loaded on the Renko clouds and the overnights. I might have sent this to you. I don't know if I got it to you in time or not, but obviously for the SPX and when we draw it on the NDX, it's the exact same thing, just different indexes, right? And the same thing happened on both sides. Look at that, guys. NDX opened the exact same, negative volume, way above the cloud. The only difference here is, check this out, SR1 and 2 are looking like an up day versus the SPX. I just noticed that.
Yeah, and it does it for each individual cash index, and it could be, it could definitely be different, I guess, depending on how bearish or bullish those are.
Yeah, so both of them did the exact same activity, though, if you look at that.
Yep.
We both opened up, and they both came back down, and so it was a perfect short opportunity for both of them. Negative volume.
Let's see, if we take a look at the percentage change of the NDX, which is
0.06 right now.
Yeah, it's only.
I didn't look at it at the open. But something that I was tuning into that may or may not help, or I wanted to run it by you, to run it by the team, is obviously the index is, like we say here, it's on the only during market time open. And if we look at it on the futures, it'll obviously track overnight because you can use the cloud if you want to trade outside of the market being open. So there is possible to just look at that. I know Sean was looking at that. He's not on today, but I'm sure he'll catch the video. It will follow that, and we do see that open move tracking down, right? Same thing as we see with the index. So both ways, depending on how you look at it. That was one thing I didn't want to catch myself looking at the wrong one and expecting it to go a different way. If we compare, obviously I have a red cloud because we're going down, whereas here we have whatever color we want to call this, gold, yellow, but it's still tracking into it, right? Now it's in fair market value. So is there a better way that I or others should be looking at that?
On the overnight section, I would say you want to use that the volume script too. So use the synthetic volume script with the Renko cloud. I think
the old one with that. I guess the only part I was thinking of was if I just come straight up compare. Where's SP? Bottom left. Let's move him over here. Oops. Come back. Stay. All right.
Mark, SR1 is the dotted line. SR2 is a solid line.
Yeah, dotted line draws in first. Solid line draws in second.
Right.
See how this one starts a little bit? This one's in the first 5 minutes. And then 10 minutes, this one draws in, correct?
Right. And if you notice the negative volume, so if you're doing overnight, number one, you can't use the SPX because that's the cash index. So you'd have to, what you want to do is you want to create a new window. So detach that one.
Then switch to like ES.
And then what you want to do is go ahead and switch to ES. And you can put whatever over there, YM or whatever you want to do. And then go into the edit studies and just exit out of the swing oscillator. So the swing oscillator is using internal market data. So it's only available from the time the market is open until it closes. But the synthetics, the swing synthetic volume is available all of the time. And you don't want that other volume in there. The synthetic volume is a pretty unique formula algorithm that uses just price data and what we call honest volume. A lot of the volume today in the markets is high frequency trading, algorithmic trading. It's it's kind of a mix of all kinds of different trading that when I started trading back in 1987 on a regular basis, volume was really extremely helpful. You could tell if the market was going to go up or down just based on volume in price action. And I use that a lot. So, but today you can't do it because number one, you've got bats, you've got all kinds of different feeders to the volume that you see on the exchanges. And it's, kind of muddies the picture. So I created the synthetic volume to compensate for that. And so you saw that we had a lot of negative volume almost right off the bat. And that's what I would use. So if you're doing anything overnight, is Sham in the room? I think.
Not yet.
Okay, so if he listens to this, then use the Renko cloud with the synthetic volume for overnight trading. And the way you can kind of use them together, of course, like we talked about Renko cloud. If it's over the Renko cloud and you have negative volume, that's a really good selling opportunity. And when it's below the Renko cloud and you have positive volume, that's a great buying opportunity. Generally, it's going to go long. So right down in there, you can see that you had higher negative volume, even though it was negative volume, but it was higher than the previous bar. So it means that selling is declining. And so that's a pretty good buying opportunity right there below the cloud. Exactly. Yep, that's a great example there. No, yeah, I think I answered that.
I was just looking around.
Yeah, I think I answered that. So yeah, I mean, it looked like certainly the market was going to head higher this morning. We opened up a lot, pretty strong in the overnight session, and but you can see as we were above the cloud just before the open, we had negative volume there, and so that's a good shorting opportunity. Above the cloud, negative volume, declining volume, whatever you want to call it. Great shorting opportunity. Below the cloud, positive trending volume, good buying opportunity.
All right. Yep. So that bar up there combined with this bar right here.
Yep.
What we're talking about.
Exactly. When that bar closes, you know that's a good shorting opportunity. And I'm very proud of myself because I coded the synthetic volume all by myself. I didn't even ask Andy for help on that one.
Fantastic work.
Oh, thank you.
Look at how close they are on that one compared to the SPX.
Yeah, they're really close. Still negative though, showing that negative bias for the day because the solid line is above the dotted line.
Yep.
So negative bias. Yeah.
All right.
You should care. So Andre says, you look at 10-minute only, and how does the H4 help? H4 is for the swing trades. So if you're doing swing trading, that's what that's for. And I only look at the 10-minute for day trades because the SR1 and SR2 are optimized for the 10-minute time frame. We did a lot of testing with those dynamically SR1s and SR2s. And you can see like price right now is coming right down to SR1. This is kind of hanging around there right now. We're also at the bottom, pretty close to the bottom. We hit the bottom on that bar of the lower Renko cloud too. So both of those can act as support and resistance. But I noticed a lot that price action comes down to SR1, just kind of hangs around there for a while before it makes its next move. And then we use the volume to kind of say, hey, is volume drying up on the downside, or, is it going to continue before we take a position? But boy, it came right down to the bottom of that Renko cloud too.
Yep.
That's really unique. I guess if you guys have done, if you know anything about Renko cloud or Renko charts, they're not easy to trade. They give you a fantastic idea of the trend, but they're very difficult to trade because the reversal signals in Renko clouds is basically double the size of the bricks, they call them. And so by the time you get out, it's kind of too late. But what Renko charting does is it eliminates the noise. And so that's why, this modified version of the Renko chart, we made into a cloud study so that we can eliminate noise. And so when we're way high above that, it gives you a pretty good indication that prices are not in line with reality or with the market's perception of fair value. And so anything within the two bands of the Renko cloud are considered fair value. Yep, right in there.
Look at that.
Yeah, just switch to a negative. So when it switched from that's another signal that things could get negative here. But this bar has to close first. If it's red, then we could be going into a declining phase. If it stays green, then we may hit the bottom of that cloud and go higher. So
we're at the first minute of the bar because we're on a 10-minute chart.
Right. Time frame for swing trading, that's kind of like up to you. The 4-hour charts are anywhere from next day to 2 to 3 days. What you want to do is you want to look for volume and the oscillator. So the oscillator right now on the 4-hour just crossed one of the moving averages, but we're still not quite at the upper moving average yet.
Still big negative volume.
Big negative volume now. Yeah. Yeah. And there are some parameters for, I mean, there's some high and low levels for the volume too that you can use as a measurement. So on the 4-hour chart, it's about -10. On the 10-minute chart, it's -2. When it hits those levels, typically you want to look for a reversal. So if it's +2, you want to look for a reversal lower. If it's -2, you want to look for a reversal higher.
Draw some lines in there for myself later. Yeah.
So Dave, does the SR1 and SR2 change throughout the day? No, it changes a little bit until the so the first SR1 is drawn after 5 minutes. The SR2 is drawn after 10 minutes, and when that 10-minute period is done, then it's kind of solidified.
Then it's locked. Yep.
It's locked in. Yeah.
Did you see that for a second there? If anybody noticed, the real time started to move down, but then it ticked back up. So that's going to fluctuate here pretty soon. And in addition, there it goes again. See that?
Yeah, these are kind of like instruments in a plane. You know, you want to kind of watch all the instruments. I had so much fun beta testing these scripts. It was just incredible. I've never been as profitable as never. I mean, I have never hit almost every single trade perfectly until I started when I started beta testing these. It's just absolutely amazing.
We had a question for the bull and the bear signals. How does the bulls and the bears info help? So right now it's 10 bulls and 3 bears.
Yeah, it's like a little scoreboard.
And this SR, this -1.71, that's the distance between SR1 and 2. That's what that maps out up there.
Yep, exactly. So it's negative, so it shows a negative bias. If it's positive, it's positive bias. Just kind of quick view.
And so how do you read the bulls and the bears when right now the bulls are 10-3? So it looks like they're up by a touchdown. If we're going down, wouldn't we want to sometimes read that as more of a bullish indicator when the bulls are higher? Or am I not reading that right?
Yeah, so there's still bullishness in the market. So on a you want to kind of keep an eye on that, especially after we came back to SR2, came back down to SR1. We hit the lower end of the Renko cloud, but we're still, actually for the day, we're still very bullish. So it kind of confirms what the oscillator is saying, and now we're getting a little uptick in volume. So probably a good opportunity to go long here.
And we are on the upside or on the positive side, right? You know, we're at positive 4.6 on the oscillator. That's part of it as well, right? It's all kind of contributing factors.
Order filled. Yeah, I'm just gonna take a little long position here and see what happens. But yeah, as I'm watching your chart while I'm trading off of it.
Welcome to the 21st century.
Exactly. But yeah, I'm talking and I'm not paying attention to trading, which is not a great thing to do. But I should have gotten in just as it dropped below there. But
well, anyway, the volume's decreasing.
Yep. So the negative volume's decreasing. That indicates a positive trend. Now the bar hasn't closed yet, so we'll see. But ideally, you want to take a position if the negative volume is decreasing and you're at the lower end of the Renko cloud. So right in there. Yeah.
And then would you plan on, everyone's going to ask what's your exit strategy is, would you exit
above the Renko cloud?
Above the cloud, you want to get out. So
yep. So above SR1, and above the cloud would be ideal. I guess it would depend a little bit on the volume, because if I see the volume continue to go higher, I'll keep it. But generally, anything, I'm trying to measure the distance from the top of the Renko cloud to a perfect like selling opportunity. And if I had to eye it, I would say probably someplace between 29.93 and 29.94. So you want to see, hey, maybe it's going to be a little bit above that, the Renko cloud. That'd be a great opportunity to exit that position. Yep, right in there someplace. Just above the cloud, just above the cloud. So good stuff here, really good stuff. If you're a swing trader though, it looks like on the 4 hour, it looks like it's really having trouble getting above that the upper cloud. We went up there once and came back down below it. Still a lot of negative volume there. So.
Yeah, potential for a trend change here with the green arrow coming in, and we got 2 green arrows here, which is also adding to your long position probabilities. But once, yeah, we need this volume to go down.
Yeah, we need to see that down. But the bulls and bears are just a quick, kind of quick view idea of, and the bulls and bears are based on, it's kind of a modified version of the balance of power on the spreadsheet for Market Timer. So it kind of gives you an idea where participants are as far as whether they're buying or selling the market at this point. It's just kind of extra confirmation. It's just a little extra confirmation. I like to use the oscillator much better in the volume. Mark, the scripts are available now? Yep, absolutely. I'll throw a link in here for you so you can take a look at the...
Yeah, for those that are either premium script subscribers, you get a very deep discount and or a private client. You probably already got an email if you're one of those.
Yeah, make sure you contact support at Strong Market. If you're a client of Strong Market already with Market Timer or a premium studies member, contact them to get a discount. If you are a client, make sure you contact support. That was more of a discount than.
Yeah.
If you're a client of, if you're a client, I don't know if he is or not. Did he do the premium, the PC?
Yes.
So, but he didn't. Did he? Is he got the premium scripts now?
Shankar, you got the premium scripts, don't you? I'm pretty sure you do. Yeah, he does. He's got everything.
Oh, okay. Well, then, yeah, definitely contact support. And if you're a PC client of Tradingology and a premium script member, contact support at Tradingology or at Strong Market rather, and they'll give you a nice discount.
So there you go, everyone. Multiple ways to get your hands on these, and there you go, Steve.
Perfect.
It's working right out, just like it's supposed to. Volume's continuing to decrease. Mark, Dave's on vacation, or the Market Timer team is on summertime for the insights. Actually, I missed it too. That's why I'm just giving you a hard time. Because I was packing for my weekend and I didn't see the final update on Friday's daily update. There was an update for summertime and no insights. Yeah,
Friday they put it in the notes on the update that they're doing a summer break until the first week of September. I think the last 2 years they made the staff work on weekends to put that together, and there was a bit of a rebellion last year. So they decided to give everybody a vacation in August this year. So yeah, no weekly insights until the weekend insights. But what they're doing to compensate for that is to put charts in the daily updates so that we can kind of focus on one or two areas that that need to be highlighted. Okay, great. Oh, good morning, Anurg. Good to see you.
Good morning. Sneaking in after the fact.
Yeah. So anyway, guys, these I have never been so excited about scripts before. These are just absolutely fantastic. When I was beta testing them, I said, wow, this is like, if you know how to trade at all, you can't go wrong with these because if you just follow the signals. The only time you could probably go wrong is if you say, okay, well, I'm going to be a contrarian. You do not want to be a contrarian with these scripts. If you follow the volume trends, higher volume. If you've got a swing oscillator at 10, that means there's a lot of bullishness in this market. And then, you want to take a look at the bulls and bears. You want to take a look at all the symbols, and that's where this is my exit opportunity right here.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about, guys.
Yeah. So I have one losing trade in the 6 weeks that I've been testing this script. I had one losing trade. I told Dan about it last week. It was on a Friday because I had this preconceived idea of what was going to happen in the market, and I said, I think I'm right. But the script was telling me, no, this market's going in a different way. And so if you don't pay attention to that, then you're going to get burned. I trade between 9:30 and about 11:30. That's it. So I get a couple trades in a day.
I think he's asking how many did you trade in your testing if you only had one?
Oh, in the testing?
Yeah. Or if you ballpark in a day, so you probably did 2 or 3 a day, 4 maybe.
Yeah, that's about right. About 2 or 3 to 4, 5 maybe at the most.
And that's for how many weeks and months? You were doing it for a while, I know.
About 6 weeks. About 6 weeks.
There you go. You average that out to, we'll call it 3 days a week to be average. 5 trades, so 15 times 6. So he's touching 100 trades, give or take, in that testing, I would say.
Yeah, I would say it's more than 100 trades, about 100.
So now we're way above. He's going to look at an opportunity to short it, but not until you see negative volume.
Not yet. Not till we see negative volume. Absolutely. Nurg says, I think I'll get my granddaughter, age 14 years, to start trading now with these scripts. Yeah, I would. That's a great idea. Absolutely. That is an absolutely great idea. Somebody mentioned to me that this was a legal way to print money. I said, yeah, that's absolutely right. Yeah, and the loss on that, Andre, was $20. The one losing trade was $20.
Ouch.
I know, it hurt bad. That was my lunch for the day.
Right.
So now we're above the SR2 and above the cloud, and so we're seeing a little bit of a pullback there. So I already exited my position. I'm ready to kind of watch it to see if something else comes along. But the reason I only trade between 9:30 and 11:30, which I've mentioned many times before, is because that's when traders are really, really active. And then almost all of them go to lunch between 11:30 and 1:30. They're all gone.
And then the manipulators come back.
Yeah, and then the market just kind of moves sideways and doesn't really do much unless there's a really big news story and there's a lot of volume in the market. It typically does not do anything between 11:30 and 1:30. And remember, we're coming into the summertime trading now environment where traders are going to be taking vacations, especially in August. It's usually kind of slow trading, very lethargic, and so with lighter volume, prices can get whipped around pretty quickly if volume does come into the market. So just be careful.
Yes, this ES trading is based on SPX data, Andre. That is correct.
Yep, that's right. Now, one thing too is what you should kind of keep an eye on is that the scripts work best on the cash indexes, SPX, NDX, DJI. I like the S&P 500. Dan turned me back onto the S&P 500 because I haven't traded the S&P 500 for a very long time. I'm a Dow guy. I mean, back in the 80s, that's pretty much all we could trade. But originally, when I created the original spreadsheet for Market Timer and the original algorithms, it was all correlated to the S&P 500. I kind of forgot about that, I guess, over time. But Dan said, "Hey, look at this. The S&P 500 is beautiful for these scripts." I said, "Yeah, you're right." I started trading the S&P 500, especially with the MES now. You guys got no excuse not to trade futures. I mean, I would rather trade the MES, the S&P 500 Micro E-mini futures, than options. I mean, there's no contest anymore. I mean, if you got a battle trying to split the bids on an option contract on the SPY compared to highly liquid instrument like the MES, I'd pick the MES any day of the week. Yep, and that's the reason. Plus, if you're in the cash indexes, you're getting actual movement, price movement. If you put it on the ES and you can set up a separate chart to look at it, you'll see the ES fluctuating like crazy. It's very difficult to filter out the noise on the ES. The SPX will give you a much smoother price action. And of course, the ES, the MES, the SPY are all derivatives of the cash index. And so they're going to take their price movement from the cash index. So you're always better off using the cash index. Andre, yes, the micro E-minis. Absolutely fantastic for this kind of trading.
Yeah, that excuse me, that just comes down to whatever your risk tolerance is, right? So if you're going to trade, whether it's the full contract on the E-minis or the micro E-minis, and you want to have the 1/10, that's all up to the individual trader, but they both work perfectly the exact same.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Which goes back to his question of, what your average profits were. Think about it as, just per contract. So if he's in one MES or if he's in one ES or whatever, it's all just a matter of ticks is how you want to compare. That's the, so if you're getting, 4 ticks on the ES or 5 or whatever on the SPX, think about that when you talk to other traders versus just straight up profit, because everyone trades a different thing in a different instrument. So that is kind of the equalizer of how you can compare what you're doing with other people and how you're profitable. It's always to compare with ticks and not just straight up dollars. Because someone might be trading 10 contracts. I just made $1,000. Yeah, well, you're a super high risk trader because you're trading, 10 contracts at a time, full contracts, whereas someone else is only trading one MES. You can't say, hey, I made $10, but you actually made the better trade because of your rules.
Yep, that's right. So yeah, I mean, those up signals that we got this morning showed the trend was up, a little bit of a dip back down to SR1. Now we're right back up again. Right back up. And so the bulls and bears were correct. The bulls, it said, hey, there's more bulls and bears in here. And even as it dropped down to the lower end of the cloud there, it held steady. The oscillator was at +10. Volume started picking up. That's a great time to go long.
So, Nurag, you might be not understanding. So we're using the SPX for the charting, but we're actually trading the ES or the MES. So
right.
We're not trading the SPX itself.
Yeah, you can't trade the SPX unless you buy the entire S&P 500 stocks.
Right.
The trading instrument is the ES or the MES. Can you trade the MES on Thinkorswim or not recommended? Yes, you can. Yeah, you can. It's just the commissions are kind of high. they have not reduced the commission rate on the MESs, which is very odd to me.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, it's dumb. It's dumb. I use
Trade-A-Bait.
well, I'm using Trade-A-Bait for the MESs, yeah, and then Lightspeed for the the ESs. But I'm thinking about actually switching my account all over Trade-A-Bait. I don't have to pay the large data fee that I'm paying on Lightspeed, and I've got a. I just love the platform. I really like it.
Nice volume continues to increase.
And so we're getting definitely higher movement. Really nice. Yes, Trade-A-Bait and NURG for the MES. Their day trading margin is only $50 per contract for each of the micros, for the micro E-minis. And they have I really like their platform for a couple different reasons. Number one is they have a couple of buttons that I really like, which includes not only buy it in the market, but you can actually join the bid or join the ask, which is a nice feature. There's also a button to exit in market for the entire position. But I like to join bid and join ask because if I'm in a position and I'm making a profit on it and I want to exit that and I join the bid or join ask, I get a little bit extra boost. So basically covers the commission. The commissions are 50 cents a contract, which is pretty cheap, plus 24 cents for the exchange fees. So it's about 74 cents, 79 cents, I think, total. Round trip, not round trip, but it would be $1.60 round trip. Yeah, they're good. They're very good. And I'm with Dorm. So Trade-A-Bait is a trading platform, and then it's kind of like Ninja Trader. They don't have their own they don't have their own brokerage, so you have to pick either Dorman Trading or Phillips. And so I went with Dorman Trading, and I think I related my experience of trying to get a check from them at one point during my vetting process. That failed. I never got the check, but excellent customer service though. Really good customer service. I just emailed them and said, look, I didn't get my check. They say, okay. They credited my account with the funds right away. And I set up a wire transfer in the future. So, yep, Dorman Trading, that's correct. So good commissions. There's a small fee for the data. I think it's like $2 a month. So that's really cheap. I'm paying $350 with Lightspeed. $350 a month.
I was going to say, yeah, you might want to qualify that one.
Yeah. Yeah, it is good. I like them. Very quick, excellent executions. And the second reason why I like Trade-A-Bait is because you can use it on a Mac, you can use it on a PC, you can use it on an iPad, you can use it on your phone. It's across all platforms. So if I'm traveling and I can't get to my laptop, I just trade on my phone. So it's really good. I like it. All right. So now we're above the cloud. Let's see what happens to volume here. Let's see if we don't come back down to SR2 again. Could be a little opportunity there. See what happens with the volume. But anyway, yeah, very nice. The scripts are absolutely fantastic. I absolutely love them. These are probably the pinnacle of the 5 years that I've been doing with the market timer spreadsheet, market timer algorithms. They all just fit together they fit like a glove. Absolutely perfect.
That is correct, Andre. You still need TOS for the data, for the indicators and the charts. You got it.
Yes, exactly right. Yep. Yeah. I mean, eventually what we'd love to be able to do is to translate these scripts into other platforms, but for now it's just TOS. I don't know if anybody of you guys saw this. We talked about cryptocurrencies in the past. There was a patent applied for by Bank of America. I don't know if you saw this, Dan.
I don't believe I did.
Yeah, there was a patent applied for in 2018 that was just published by the patent office, in which the Bank of America outlined a real-time settlement system for cross-border transactions. And in the patent, they had Ripple and XRP in the diagrams.
Wow.
Yeah. And Brad Garlinghouse, the CEO of Ripple, was on Bloomberg TV. I think it was either this morning or maybe yesterday. And he said he can neither confirm nor deny that this is something that they're doing with Bank of America. But he said it came out a little bit earlier than he anticipated before an announcement is made. So, I mean, basically he confirmed that they're working with Bank of America, which is one of the largest banks in the world.
Yeah.
I mean, all over the place, right? And they actually, I'll send you the screenshot that I have of the patent where they mention Ripple and XRP. It's pretty interesting.
Yeah, we were talking earlier this week. I finally dipped my toes in that and watching the XRP ride, and perfect timing.
Good.
I had to do it through Bitstamp.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, because I couldn't find anywhere else that was easy enough.
Yeah, Bitstamp is probably one of the very best exchanges in the world, I think, for cryptocurrencies. They don't have a huge selection, but they are very reliable, and they're one of the first too. And I've never heard of them getting hacked. A lot of these smaller exchanges get hacked frequently.
Right.
I've never heard of Bitstamp getting hacked. And they're also a preferred liquidity partner for Ripple. Shakar says, these scripts look great, Dave. I wonder what you'll come up with next. I hope you name it Crystal Ball Studies. To be honest with you, I think that after 5 years of developing Market Timer and working on all of the, really trying to figure out what makes the market work. And really it's not just 5 years, but I started creating the algorithms and doing the correlation coefficients for the S&P 500 and the internal market data since 1992. So this has been almost 40 years in development. Basically my life's work. This is killer. This is just, and I even kind of hesitated to release it for a while. I said, well, gee, what happens if too many people get a hold of these scripts? Will it change the opportunity for me? And but like in the past, it's always been a matter of, number one, the market is much bigger than you think it is. And even if I sold 1,000 of these scripts, it's not going to change the way the market behaves. The market's going to behave the way it behaves. It's a drop in the bucket compared to the institutional trading, the hedge funds that trade all kinds of different algorithms. The idea behind the scripts is to eliminate the noise, find out what the true value of the price discovery is, and understand we're trading, where price is going to go in a semi-automatic way. So you really don't have to think too much. All you have to do is follow the signals. So I don't think I'm going to come up with a crystal ball study.
I think this is already it.
Yeah, I think this is it. This is probably it. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you can't ask for much better than what this already gives you.
Yeah.
And multiple people agree too, Dave. So yes, everyone. And Shankard says it there. Thank you in all caps. Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, you're very welcome. And it's just been so much fun to develop these and to also to get feedback from a lot of guys who have been using it, especially. I mean, it's just, I'm going to do more educational type videos. There's some tips and things like that I like to be able to share with people. But if you use them, I mean, if you're going to have a chance at success at trading and you haven't had any success yet, now, if you've got a system that works for you, I'm very happy for you. That's great. That's awesome. But if you don't and you've struggled, this is the one. This is the one that's going to help you be successful. Guaranteed. I guarantee it. Can the Energas, if the scripts can be converted to an automatic algorithm, that's going to be a little bit tougher. That's my next step. That's where I'm thinking next. To put all of these together into a completely automated system is going to take a little bit more time, I think, for me to think through it. I have been thinking about that, though. Yes. Andre says, do you know what the margin and commissions are on TOS for MAS? Yeah, they're still like $2.75 a contract plus 40 cents, 30 or 40 cents for the exchange fees. So you're going to be paying around $3.25, I think, for a single contract. $6.50 round trip. That's a lot. Tradeovite, like I said, is about $1.60 a round trip. And that's if you take the free plan. So Tradeovite has a couple different plans. There's a free plan, which is like 79 cents around a contract, or you can sign up if you do a lot of trading. If you do you'd have to do a lot of trading, but I forgot what the plans were, but you pay a monthly fee and the commissions are reduced, but you still have to pay the exchange fees. So the very least, I think they even have a free plan. So, but you're still paying 24 cents on for the exchange fee. The thing is that VA only gives us a couple of days a month, right, of really good opportunities. So the new scripts fill that void. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think they do. I mean, the VA has. We're also working on a script for the VA trade that will help us with entries and exits, and that's my very next project now that this is done. So I'm gonna be working on that pretty diligently for the rest of the summer. I really want something that's going to give us even more opportunities in the VA trades.
Yeah, those two are a very powerful punch. Yeah. You take the VA in the morning and then use these scripts for the rest of the day.
Absolutely.
Yep, and one thing I did notice too, in watching the videos and stuff, is intra-trader, like I used to wait until later. With some of these, you don't have to wait until 15 minutes, 30 minutes after the open to take a trade. You can actually, just like we saw today, this opened way up. Very valid to take a trade the first few minutes into the market being open today. Yep,
absolutely. For sure. Because the SR1 will be printed almost immediately. And then, you can see how far away it is from value. You got negative volume. Yeah. It's a piece of cake.
Are you sure you closed your trade out? If you didn't, you better take your profits, Dave.
Oh, I took my profits. As soon as it got up to that 29.93 level. So, yeah, I'll take profits early and often.
Yep, Andre, you can definitely focus this and then only use intra-trader if you want additional confirmation. That's one thing I'm going to work on do next to guys is I do get people that are always asking me, hey, I like your screen. Can you give me that shot? Is I'm going to make some basic workspaces. So you guys can just load these. You'll still have to load your indicators when you get the scripts because they don't come across when you save a TOS workspace. But just the default setups for the charts, I'll do that and I'll post those on the site.
Beautiful. All right. It also helps guys who are trading from the other parts of the world, 8:30 p.m. Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Yep, you can use this to trade throughout the rest of the day. Absolutely.
Yeah. With the Renko and the volume, you could trade all 24 hours a day if you want.
You're welcome, Andre. I'll work on that as soon as I can.
Hey guys, any final questions? We'll wrap it up for the day.
All right, folks. Appreciate you guys coming out. Dave, thank you as always. Shankar says he's awake all night.
Excellent session, Andre says. Awesome. Thanks, Dave and Dan. You guys have a great couple of days. We'll see you again on Thursday morning, and check these scripts out. It's just they're pretty darn amazing. Pretty darn amazing.
You're welcome, Nurag. I appreciate it. You guys have a great week. We'll talk to you Thursday.
Okay, Dan. Take care. Bye, guys. Bye.